Hello yogis, good to see you again. So for this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about staying present. So this is something I think a lot about. I am an actor and a singer, and the thing I love best about performing is just that fact that you're really encompassed in what you're doing. Just like a yoga practice, you really get to be there. You get to be fully present. But it can be hard to do that, as we all know. Many of us know in yoga that we're supposed to remain present. So, every thought we have is bad. We're a bad yogi because we can't calm our mind. That's not it. The point of a yoga practice is you have to learn to sit with your thoughts. You notice why they come up. And just like anything else, it's a conscious practice. So I thought I'd talk today just a little bit about staying present. So I know I deal with this a lot in my performing, and as well as my yoga practice. Sometimes it's hard to stay present. Sometimes there's just stuff going on at home, at work, with your friends, and how do we consciously practice staying exactly where we are? Well, I'm gonna lead you through a few poses and meditations to help you do that. So start in your child's pose. So, arms spread out, sitting back on your hips, and you're just breathing deep. And just feel those arms nice and long, and you're sitting. Open up your knees so you can sit further on your hips. The spine is long, and you're just breathing. And I want you to keep those eyes closed and just notice through your body. Notice first your feet. Is there any tension in those feet? Let them go. Is there anything in your legs? Maybe they're tight. How's your spine? Many of us who have back issues will notice pain in the spine first, or just not standing up straight. So notice all those physical things without judgment. You're just noticing things as you move up your spine to your heart center. Notice that area, and you're breathing your deep Ujjayi breath in and out the nose. Couple more deep breaths. And then finally just notice those arms stretching out nice and long, part of your long line. And you're breathing. And just a couple more like that. And now I want you to just notice where your thoughts are. What happens when you settle down for a yoga practice? What's the first thought that comes to mind? Maybe it's home, maybe it's your spouse, your kids, your partner, your boss. What's that first thing on your mind? Well, maybe it's that grocery list, maybe it's the stupid train that made you late to class, maybe it's that you're going to be late for something else. Whatever it may be, notice it. Notice why it comes up. And then consciously just bring yourself back to your body. Take one more deep breath, and then bring yourself back to that physical being. Just hook on something, maybe that nice long spine, the release of your fingers, bringing yourself back. And then you're going to come out of your child's pose, stretching your arms and long, and step back to your downward dog. You're breathing, shaking the head, no and yes, pressing into those hands. And then you're going to walk slowly to your forward fold, and you're just hanging here. Again, noticing your physical body. So grab your opposite elbows, notice that release in your spine, notice your neck and your head, and you just breathe deep. And then notice the first thought that comes to mind, notice what it is, and then allow yourself to come back into your body. Couple more like that, and allowing yourself to come back. And then you're going to let your arms go, and just slowly stack that spine. One vertebrae at a time. And then finally, you're going to come into mountain pose. So here in mountain pose, take inventory of that body. So all four corners of the feet are firmly planted into the mat. The big toes, the little toes, sides of the feet, the heels, all of it's firmly pressing. And we're breathing. And then notice your knees. They're not locked or deeply bent. So just find that kind of happy medium of where they want to be. And notice how you grow a little taller when you do that. And you're breathing. And then moving on up to your hips. Breathing deep. Just feeling them in line, just like the knees, naturally where they want to fall, not forward or back, but just where they want to fall in your body. Feel that space. And you're breathing. And then the spine is just stacking, just the way it was on the floor in child's pose. Feel it grow a little taller. The way we usually walk is either hunched over or forced standing up straight. Notice that in between. And you're breathing. And then your heart area. This is the area we do not give enough attention to, especially any of you who are city people like me. We know we're always in a rush to get somewhere, so we run around hunched over, and especially when cold weather comes, we tend to just close off this part of the body. So notice how it feels. Physically and emotionally, notice what happens when you open up your chest. Open that heart chakra. We're breathing. And then a little attention to your arms. Elbows have a nice, soft, natural bend. Let your fingers go, all that texting, typing, tweeting we do. Let them go. And finally, bringing yourself to your neck and your head. Letting any tension go, and that spine goes all the way up between those ears, so feel the extension of that length. Couple more deep breaths in your mountain. Notice every part of your body, how much awareness you can have, just in this standing pose. All this awareness, all this presence, all this strength is all yours. Just a breath away. And then gently, gently blink open those eyes. So that's just a little bit about staying present, and mountain pose is a great one for throughout the day because you can do it at work, at school, on the train, in the grocery store line, like just a little, oh hey, I'm in my body, because often we get so stuck in our minds that we can't stay present because we're in the mind, we're in the past or the future, or we're just really stuck in our heads. And yoga is about uniting the mind and body. It's the union. Yoga literally means to yoke in some version of Sanskrit. So always practicing that connection, knowing you have the power to stay present. And all it takes is a little bit of breath, a little bit of awareness in your body, because you can always come back to your physical being and your breath. You can always bring yourself back. Thank you so much, yogis. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave below. I'll see you next week. Namaste.